Hello, Mahesh sir. Hello, Mahesh sir. Can we start now? Hello.
Yes, yes, we can start.
Sir, our faculty will introduce you first and she'll invite you. Then you can start, sir.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, all. Seeking the blessings of Suturu Guru Parampare, I, Malapriya S, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC, welcome you all for the fifth day of Student Induction Program 23-24. I take this opportunity to welcome our resource person, Mr. Mahesh Baswanna, who is a mechanical engineer, advisor for Old Bank, currently working as director, MCD built Environmental Research Lab, world's first millet-based snacks company under the brand name of Kiru. He has more than 23 years of expertise in designing net zero water and energy buildings, specialized in building analysis, simulation modeling, design and verification, and cost analysis. His experience lies in energy conservation and energy efficiency work across various projects, including residential and commercial buildings as well as public facilities. You have a strong knowledge of engineering energy efficient building systems and have played a key role in several innovations within building systems. It is honored to have you, sir. We welcome you on behalf of JSSSTU.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, can we start now the presentation?
Sure, sir.
You can see the presentation, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, all. My name is Mahesh Baswana. So I want to talk actually about a startup, company called Arctree, and I am the founder actually of this Arctree, and we have a brand name called Kiru. So it is a world's first, 100% millet snack brand. So, before that, I would like to just explain to you about the history. Without understanding the history, today discussion actually about what are the health benefits actually of the millets. I don't know whether, just a second, just a second, please. Yeah, sorry for the. You can see the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I just wanted to explain actually about the history of the millets, and without understanding the history of the millets, it is very difficult to find out what is the importance and what are the health benefits actually of the millets. So if you look at this is about haves and have-nots. The people who have become rich and the people actually who have not become who have become poor. So basically, there is a quote actually by Jared Diamond. He's a famous biologist. So he says that history followed different courses for different peoples because of differences among people environment. It's basically about the geography. If you are in Asia or if you are in a or America or if you are in Europe, so there is a differences not because of the biological differences, but it is because of the geographical difference. So about the people actually who are rich and people actually who are poor. So if you look at the origin of human beings is around 7 million, that is around 70 lakhs years ago. So the origin actually started in Africa, and then around 10 lakhs years, they started actually moving towards the India and then the China. So by America, people actually went to around 10,000 years ago. They are called origins, the Red Indians. And in Australia also, there people are there for 30 to 40,000 years. They are called aborigines. So this is how the entire the people moved, from Africa actually to different countries. So why I'm telling this is because that how the food also traveled actually, from one point to another point. So the food actually, if you look at the the latitude, we call actually it's called lucky latitudes actually for agriculture. It started in Africa, then basically it's all the way, it goes actually towards left, towards the Europe, on the right actually towards the China and India. So it's basically a Eurasia it is called. So the food also traveled from Africa actually to Europe and also Asia. But if you look at the place called New Guinea, this is next to Australia. Papua New Guinea actually it's called Papua New Guinea. So where till 50 years back, they did not had any grains. They were only eating the whole day. These people, the people actually in New Guinea, they have to eat whole day. They have to work, to prepare a food. A small example, they have to cut a big tree, a large tree, and then basically take out in the center whatever the nutrition which is available, so that they are whole day they have to cut and then open it and then basically heat. So you can understand, no? The 10,000 years ago, the wheat, the millets, actually they people are started storing in Europe and Asia. But the places like New Guinea, they are completely disconnected actually from the other world. So till 50 to 75 years back, so there was no grains actually which was available. So all they have to do is the plant-based food, and also the other non-vegetarian food. But it is mostly actually with a plant-based food. So that's what they were eating. So if you look at the history of the millet, we found around 10,000 years ago. These millets actually were available in the Europe, Eastern Europe, and also in China they found some 30 years back they found around 50,000 kg of grains, which is around 8,500 years old grains, which was actually in the pit. So they found that in the China also people were using the millets, and even in the East Africa also people actually using millets 10,000 years back. I just want to tell you actually what is millet is. The millets also called ragi, jola, navane. Those are all called millets. And in India, there was a mention of millets. The oldest Yajurveda text actually there is a mention of foxtail millet and barnyard millet and also the finger millet. So in this is actually what we found in India. But there is a place called Sanganakallu. Madam, are you able to follow? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, yes, sir. You can continue.
Yeah. So there are 5,000 years ago, there is a place called Sanganakallu near Ballari. So there was a tool factory. They used to make stone tools. Lakhs of stone tools. They used to produce the tools to process the millets. This is near Ballari, the 5,000 years back. So they used to grow millets on the on the field, and they used to transport these millets actually to the the hilly areas, and then they used to do the processing of the millets using the tools. They were selling the tools, as well as there was a processing industry. So there is a industry for tool manufacturing, and also there is a processing industry actually for the millets processing. Yeah. So these are all the pictures. They used to make these kind of tools around 5,000 years back. They have done the excavation, actually recent excavation. You can also see that there was a grain of uh, for grinding a millet. They used to create these kind of holes, like a V shape kind of a holes, and they used to put the millets actually, and then they were processing those millets. So this is what we found actually in Sanganakallu around 5,000 years back. So you can see this lot of these stones which were actually used for processing the millets during 5,000 years back. This is basically a Neolithic actually. It's called a Stone Age. After the Stone Age, it is basically a before start of the Iron Age. So people used to have stones to do this processing of millets. And now I would like to show you the health benefits actually of the millets. Millets are one of the earliest grains that are being cultivated, throughout the world since 10,000 years. And the major millets are, sorghum and also called jola ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, and also pearl millet or a bajra. Minor millets called, foxtail millets, kodo millet. We also called same, arka. These are all also called, uh, the minor millets. So the millets, all the millets are very healthy, like gluten free and high in fiber, low glycemic index, and also requires very less water actually to grow. Small example: if you take rice, you require around 1,200 to 1,003 mm of the water, versus to grow a ragi or a jawar, you require only 300 to 400 mm of rainfall. So it is both healthy and also sustainable. Actually, you don't need lot of water or fertilizers or a pesticide actually to grow the millets. So why people actually are not using millets? Because of there was no processing methods and technical know-how actually how to process these millets. And also people used to think that whoever eats ragi or jawar, they are considered as a poor people, and whoever actually is eating the rice, so they are considering as the rich people. So there is a cultural differences also. The rich people used to eat rice, and the poor people actually also always used to eat the millets like ragi, jawar, and little millet like that. And also the lack of awareness and nutrition values. People used to think that all these millets actually are for the poor people, and rich people actually never used to eat this. So that was one of the reason actually that it is not popular. If you look at sorghum, it has contained like a sorghum actually is called jawar or jola. So it is contains fiber, and it's also a digestible starch. Compared to rice or the wheat, so this contains actually a lot of fiber, and also good carbohydrates with a fiber. That is the goodness actually of this millets, and also it contains vitamin B. And another problem actually that if you don't you and if you are eating a lot of usually like a wheat, like a chapati, so there is one disease called celiac diseases. So basically it's a disease that what will happen, our intestine will not have a capacity actually to absorb the nutrition. So basically these millets will help actually in eradicating celiac diseases. And also we have called this as a pearl millet, that is called sajje, we call it is. So it contains a lot of fiber, and also if it is good for heart, and it also reduces the weight, and it's good actually for the diabetes. It basically reduces the cholesterol. And this is the finger millet, it is called ragi. So it is good actually for iron, so it is good for anemic people. It also helps actually in relaxation, the bodily, naturally. Or also it reduces anxiety, depression, and insomnia, so there's sleepless nights. So, and also ragi useful actually for the migraine So another millet called kodo millet. It is called arka in Kannada. So it is rich actually in dietary fiber and also iron and antioxidants. And also it helps actually for the kidney and also lowers cholesterol. And it is very low actually in sugar and very high actually in fiber. Then other millet called little millet, it is called same. Is packed with the protein, fiber, calcium along with minerals and vitamins, and low glycemic index. Basically, that will if you are a diabetes, if you have a diabetes or a sugar, basically this will help actually in controlling the sugar. It also helps actually in reducing weight, and and it is good actually for the stomach. Okay, and also gluten free, and also it helps actually in boost immunity. So, so these are all the benefits actually of the millets. So once if you start eating the millets, on a regular basis, it is good actually for the people. So high in fiber, minerals, proteins, alkalinity, and can tackle anemia, iron deficiency, B complex, and reduce sugar level. So basically, to create a awareness actually about millets, international. So this year, 2023, is called as a International Year of Millets, and then in this year, so United Nations actually announced this year as International Year of Millet. We have produced one small song actually about the health benefits of the millet. I will just play this.
ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಹೋ
Madam, can you hear this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sure.
ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಹೋ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು 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 ರಾಗಿಯ ತಿನ್ನುವ ಮಾನವನು ನಿರೋಗಿ ಆಗಿಯ ಬಾಳುವನು ರಾಗಿಯ ತಿನ್ನುವ ಮಾನವನು ನಿರೋಗಿ ಆಗಿಯ ಬಾಳುವನು ಜೋಳವ ತಿನ್ನುವ ದೇಹವದು ತೋಳದ ಕತ್ತನ್ನು ಪಡೆಯುವುದು ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಓ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು 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 ಬರಗನು ನಿತ್ಯವು ಬಳಸಿದರೆ ಸೊರಗಿದ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ತೇಜಸ್ಸು ಬರಗನು ನಿತ್ಯವು ಬಳಸಿದರೆ ಸೊರಗಿದ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ತೇಜಸ್ಸು ಸಾಮೆಯು ತಿಂದರೆ ದಿನವೂ ಸಿಗುವುದು ಆಮೆಯ ಆಯಸ್ಸು ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಸಜ್ಜೆಯ ಸವಿಯುತ್ತ ಇತ್ತು ಬಿಡಿ ದೇಹದ ಬೊಜ್ಜನ್ನು ದೂರ ಬಿಡಿ ಸಜ್ಜೆಯ ಸವಿಯುತ್ತ ಇತ್ತು ಬಿಡಿ ದೇಹದ ಬೊಜ್ಜನ್ನು ದೂರ ಬಿಡಿ ನವಣೆಯ ಅನ್ನವ ಬಳಸಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಪವಣೆಯ ರೋಗವ ದೂರ ಬಿಡಿ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಅರ್ಕದ ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆನೆ ಮೊಸರು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ತಿನ್ನಲು ರುಚಿ ಜೋರು ಅರ್ಕದ ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆನೆ ಮೊಸರು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ತಿನ್ನಲು ರುಚಿ ಜೋರು ಕೂದಲು ಕೂರಲೆ ಆಹಾರ ದೇಹವು ಪುಷ್ಟಿಯ ಸಿರಿತೇರು ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕ ಅಂಶದ ಖನಿಜಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಕಿರು 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 ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿ 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 ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಕಿರು 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 ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಕಿರುಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಸಿರಿಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಕಿರುಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು
So This is the history of the millets, and also I explained actually about the health benefits of the millets. So I just want to tell you actually that why we started this company called Kiru, and so this factory that we have started, it's a millet snacking factory. We make this cookies, crunchies, and also bars in a place in a village called Tenkahalli. This is near Malavalli Taluk and Mandya district in Karnataka. And I'll just quickly show you this. Why farmers suffer because there is a low price. They are not getting the correct price, and there is no definite income actually for the farmers, and there is no continuous work. They only work actually for 3 to 4 months, and after that people will not. There is no work, and also the people, it's a migration issues. Basically, that people enough laborers are not available, and people come to cities. So, small example, if you grow banana, the farmer actually grow banana for a 365 days, and he will earn 30 rupees. And the middleman, in 3 days, he will make it 30 rupees actually in in 3 days. So the customer whoever actually buys at a 60 rupees banana, 30 rupees actually goes to the farmer, and 30 rupees actually goes to the middleman. So you can understand, he has to work for 365 days to grow banana, and he only gets 30 rupees. And the middleman actually in 3 days he is able to get 30 rupees. So this is the the parity issue. This is the difference. The people, uh, the farmers actually are suffering. And so basically to understand how do we help this. Basically this Kiru, our company is established in 2015. This is the world's first millet based snacking company run by a local farmers in Tenkahalli, Mandya district in Karnataka. So basically his mission is to promote healthy snacking, celebrate farmers, and make the world more sustainable place. And it is a unique combination that are delicious and nutritious. The snacks that we are making is also tasty, and also at the same time it is healthier, and it is alternative to the traditional snacks. What is available actually in the market, in the junk which is available. So what we are trying to give is healthy millet snacks made by the farmers. So, when we started this, our research, we always wanted to make, 100%, millet based snacks. So when we started this, our research in 2013, there was no benchmark, there is no standard, there is no templates actually available. And millets is, gluten free, that doesn't have a binding property, like a maida or a wheat that has a binding property. Millet actually doesn't have a binding property. So basically our vision actually, our mission is that we should not add wheat, maida, or rice to make this product. It should be free from all these things. It is that made actually more challenging. And so we also did a lot of analysis, nutrition analysis, and then basically compared to other grains and flours, and then made these snacks. We started in 2013, and our product actually came out in the end of 2015. So it almost took 2 years actually to get the product. So we have a constitution basically that 80% of our raw materials is directly coming from the farmers, and all our 80% of our employees, shall be women farmers, and also we only produce healthy and nutrition products, and it is only product from the sustainable crops. Basically that the raw materials that we use millets, that is very sustainable. You don't need water, you don't need fertilizers. It grows naturally, almost. So this is our company. I just play you one small video actually about our company, how we make these snacks.
In light of global warming, sad farmers, and junk foods, we have decided to host a latter world event to promote sustainability, celebrate farmers, and encourage healthy snacking. The idea of Kiru was born from questions. What if farmers produced, processed, and packaged at the place where ingredients and raw materials are grown? And what if we made all our snacks from millet?
So farmers grow their millets on their own land, and if they sell directly to the industry without a middleman, so they get higher returns.
At our factory, we are proud to have a diverse workforce that includes women from farming communities. In fact, these women make up a significant portion of our employees, representing 80% of our total staff. We have a rich history of innovation in the field of millet snacking production. We were the first to introduce the concept of large-scale industrial millet snacking production. We set the standard for 100% millet-based snacks without additives or preservatives. Our food manufacturing facility is carbon neutral and adheres to international standards.
And we are the only millet snacks company that run by the farmers.
At our Kiru factory in Tinkahalli village, Mandya district in Karnataka, we are proud to employ thousands of farmers and hundreds of women who work happily to create these snacks for you. Kiru, world's first millet-based snack company made by farmers.
So, just basically that uh, the idea is basically that all the earnings that goes to the farmers. And just to show you that if you look at if you buy a 10 rupees product actually from the Kiru versus if you buy a product actually from other company. So basically that only the if you buy a 10 rupees product, the 40 paisa goes to the farmer. In our Kiru product, actually, the 2 rupees 26 paisa goes to the farmer. So that is, basically that the farmer grows, the farmer makes it, and then, farmers package it, and then farmers actually send it to the consumption. So that is the reason they are able to get more money, and there is no middleman actually which is used here. So, our employees are our treasures. Basically, they are the one who made this millet snack. Mostly the women, we call them actually our farmerpreneurs. The farmers actually that they are able to make this product, in this company. And so this is our team. And so we also did some study actually on the family spending. We are working with our company, so they are able to earn more money, and their educational expenses they are able to spend money actually on the educational expenses. They are able to buy more vegetables. They are able to spend money actually on personal expenses, and also the whole standard of life actually has been improved. So these are all the products that we have, which is basically millet snacks, which is similar to, uh, it's called millet crunchies. We have cookies and also we have bars. I'll just quickly show you. So these are all the crunchies that we produced by the farmers, in the year of 2015. And these are all the bars actually that is made from the millets and cookies. So yeah, I think this is end of my presentation, and then I'm happy to take the questions.
Any questions? Uh, Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the information about the millets and its benefits and its history. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to welcome the resource person for the session 2, Mr. Abhishek AS. We welcome you, sir, on the dais. Photo. Shri Abhishek AS, Secretary, Science Communicator and Founder, Gravity Science Foundation, Chamrajnagar. He is a science communicator, educator, and science promoter in rural areas of Chamrajnagar, Mysore, and different parts of Karnataka to popularize basic science among students as well as in general public. In order to promote basic science among social and college students, he started to serve in the field of science since 2012 and has visited hundreds of schools, colleges, and delivered many science lectures and conducted science programs for the scientific community. He has demonstrated many experiments in the remote areas of Karnataka and motivated tribal children also. Abhishek sir has received several awards including National Youth Icon National Award, Young Scientist Award from KRVP, Karnada Ratna State Award, Basva Jayanti Award, Innovative Teacher Award, and State Award given by the Department of Women and Child Development, Government of Karnataka from the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka. He is a life member of professional bodies like Indian Association of Physics Teachers, KRVP, and many more. It is honored to have you, sir. Welcome you. Over to you, sir.
ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಅದಿದೆಯಾ ಓಕೆ 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 ಇಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಎ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಫೈಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪಿ ಪಿ ಟಿ ಇದೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಹಾಂ ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಎ ಎಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಫೈಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ತಗೋತಾರಲ್ಲ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಓಕೆ I can say there are two things are going on in our mind. The first thing is that Abhishek sir don't know the difficulty of sitting for the last lecture after having the delicious lunch in the afternoon, right? That is, it is very difficult to. Okay. Okay. Live streaming ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಭಿಷೇಕ್ ಪಿ ಪಿ ಟಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಪಿ ಪಿ ಟಿಲಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಏನು ಬೇಡ ಬೇಕಾ ಓಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್? ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಹಾಂ, ಓಕೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತಗೋಬೇಕಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಇದೆ ಟಿ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಮಿ. ನೋ, ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಸರ್, ನೋ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಲೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. Shall we start now? Yeah, coming on the screen. Okay. Done, sir? Okay. ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾನು ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಪೇಪ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್, ಲೇಟರ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ. Okay. As I mentioned, the first thing is, as I said, what is that? It is very difficult to sit after the lunch break, right? Listening to the lecture, right? Because I have seen many students, because as a student also, when I was a student, I have experienced the same thing. So that's why I can understand your mindset, what is there in your mind. The second thing is that the number of slides in my presentations you are going to look, right? That you are going to find out what is the number of slides sir is going to present. That is also no, because if you know the number of slides, you can easily decide how long he is going to take. When I reach, if there are 60 slides, when I reach 15, oh, 45 slides are there, have to sit calmly and watch 45 more slides, like that. When I reach 30, oh, 50% is done successfully, right? That is the general mindset as a students you have. Generally, let me brief about my lecture. In general, my lecture is not like addressing something and delivering some concepts of science and technology. Yes, that is the part of the lecture. In addition to that, the method, the scientific method, there is a method in order to study science and technology. What is the method? How we approach to get a better understanding about the science and technology. That is one of the very important aspects I am going to explain in my presentation. That is a major part. And another one important thing is that, what do you mean by science? Science is doing, right? You have to do science something, right? My lecture in generally includes hands-on demonstrations, right? That is one of the things you can see in my lecture. So because of this time constraint, the number of demonstration might be less. And one more thing is that having fun, you have to have fun, right? Otherwise, most of the students will go to sleep, right? Okay. Firstly, before going to my lecture, my respectful pranam to Suttu Srimat, because from the many years they are providing the education and they are working in many fields and providing the service for the community. So really I am grateful to got an opportunity to address the students of SJCE on this platform. And let me tell a story. Let me start with a story. There was a guru. Once upon a time, there was a guru. He was very popular in delivering lecture. because not like me, because I'm not very popular in during lectures. Okay, he wanted to post a letter to someone else. So he went to the post office, but unfortunately he has forgotten the path to post office. How to go to post office? He has forgotten the path to go to post office. So one of the bright and young student and also a genius student, he met on the way like you, and he requested that student to help him to find out the way to post office. Okay, that student helped the guru, and he was very happy. He became very happy and asked the guru, okay, my job is done, I helped you, okay, I'll take leave. The guru was very happy and replied him, see, my dear student, I am very popular in delivering lectures. So throughout the nation, many institutions are inviting me to address. So for you, I am going to give a lecture with a free of cost. No need to pay any remuneration for me. Just you invite me, I will give a lecture because you helped me. Like that he said. Oh, the student was very curious and replied to the guru. Okay, Guru, I am very happy you are coming to our place and delivering the lecture. That's fine. On what topic you are going to give the lecture? The Guru replied, Path to Heaven, Swarga Dari. Okay. The student was very curious. Allah Gurugale nimge post office ke dari gottilla inu swargಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ದಾರಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀರಿ? Even you don't know the path to the post office, how can you show the path to the heaven? Right? So why I am telling this story is because nowadays the students are very genius. Right? All the information you have in your fingertip, right? See, note the today's date. What is the today's date? Don't open the calendar on your mobile phone. Instantaneously you have to answer. 15. September 15th, 2023, right? In the next year, 2023, September 15th. You have used in your PUC screw gauge and all you have used, no? Just you measure the thickness of this finger today, if possible. Again in the next year, just you measure once the thickness of this finger. So it will be reduced. Do you know the reason? Mobile phones. Because of the friction, right? You are continuously using the mobile phones for a longer time. There might be a reduction in the thickness of your finger, right? So that much of what attachment what you have with the mobile phones nowadays, right? You can say as an engineer student, it is a technology, right? We have to accept, no other way. Okay, fine. As I said, science is one of the wonderful subject, right? It is one of the wonderful subject, but you have to enjoy it. Because the problem with science, when the students are going to lose the interest in studying science, because we have to teach the students such a way that to doubt, to communicate, right? To question, to make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. Finally, have fun in your learning. If you don't have fun in your learning, then there is no possibilities of understanding science in a better way. You have, because science is fun, right? Systematically you are studying. What is the definition? Systematic study of the knowledge, right? It's called science. There is a general definition that what you have studied in your PUC, right? Because you have studied systematically, no? Let me give one example. When you plot a least square fit, y is equal to mx plus c, in your PUC you have done, plotted voltage versus current, many plots, graphs you have plotted, right? So let me give an example how you systematically going to study the science. When you have, if I would have the piece of chalk and board, it is better, but simply you have to imagine, if you have 3 points, right, y-axis, x-axis, you know something you are going to plot. One point is here, another one is here, another one is here. When you plot a straight line, there will be slight changes on the another one point is not going to join, right? What will you do? Systematically you will increase the diameter of the dot and you are going to adjust that straight line, right? You have done this, yes or no? Yes, you have done this, I know that. Systematically we are going to increase the diameter of the dot where the 3 points are going to join to provide a straight line to match us with the y is equal to mx plus c, right? That you have systematically done, right? You people are studying the first chapter in physics as errors and measurements, but you are not accepting getting the errors in the laboratory, right? That's where we are going wrong. That's why I mentioned make mistakes. Nothing wrong. If you are not going to make mistakes, definitely you are not going to learn. But the thing is, you must learn from your mistakes. That is very important, right? If you want to touch the vernier calc, no, don't touch. Just you have to put the object, measure, read, note down, result, file, done. Experiment is done. So you people have to have the lot of exposure towards the experiments, because that is science. Without experiments, no science. Science are experiments, right? Without doing, without breaking, without, sir, what you know, sir, we have to pay breakage charges, sir. That's why we are not going to touch it. Simply we note it on the, look into the reading and we will note it down. That's enough, sir. Because what we want result, right? You people are just interested in getting results. What is the first thing you are going to write in the record in general? Huh? Aim. Then you are not writing title of the experiment. First the thing is title of the, because date will change, page number will change, but the common thing you are going to mention as the experiment is the title of the experiment. If you understand the title of the experiment, definitely you are going to get the 50% of the information about the experiment, right? One more example, systematically, I'll give one more example. You have done one more experiment called simple pendulum, right, in your first PUC. Successfully you have done and forgotten. What will happen? You have to take the ball to the certain height and you have to release from that point. It will oscillate. You are going to calculate the time taken to complete the 20 oscillations, right? What will you do? Your friend is standing next to you. There is one more table, the experimental table. So simply take it. It will hit your friend, also it will hit the table and it will start to oscillate. When the reading is going to miss, what did you calculate the number? No, I have forgotten. I was looking something somewhere. Oh no problem. What was the value for the last reading? 22. And you can put 24. Somehow we can manage, right? How systematically you people are managing the values, right? So what I am telling is that in science you must accept the mistakes. Otherwise you can't learn science and technology, right? Because the best example is the discovery of X-ray, right? It was an accidental discovery, right? He wanted to find out something different, and he got something. That's why in mathematics, what is the unknown value? X. That's why he put the name X. Röntgen, right? In science, in scientific term, we can call it as a serendipity. Serendipity means accidental discoveries, right? Accidental discoveries, right? This is one of the beauty of the science. You must, because when we get wrong result, it will lead to some different discoveries. We don't know that. Different inventions. We don't know that. We have to try it. That is very important in science. And one more thing. Today is one of the very auspicious day. That means very important day. What is the speciality of the day? Engineers Day. So I thankful to the organizers for inviting me on this special day. That is, I wish you all happy Engineers Day, because all of you are the future engineers, right? We are going to build our nation. So I wish you all happy Engineers Day, right? Okay. As I mentioned, Madam mentioned, myself Abhishek is, and we have one science foundation. Through that we are working on science popularization and science communication. I'll tell you what is the importance of science popularization and communication. I think it's not. Okay. So you can see that these are all the great minds, right, of the nation, those who have contributed a lot of discoveries, invention for the development of the science and technology. See, why I am using this picture? Because you people are the reflections of these great minds. Because you are the future. You people are going to give and contribute for the development of science and technology in the future. So when I start my lecture, I used to show the pictures of this great mind by thinking that you are the reflections of these great minds, right? Okay, scientific method. I will give a brief introduction. As I mentioned, now I am going to reduce the number because we have n number of information in my presentation. So don't worry, I am going to and I'll run some slides, and those are all important. That only I am going to pick. And in addition to that, what are all the possible demonstrations, if possible, that I am going to show you, right? And also one more thing is an activity. Activity is very important, right? You have to move your hand, you have to move your leg, you have to listen to me, right? You are not supposed to hear, you must listen, right? You are not supposed to see, you must observe, right? Observation is different and seeing is different. You can also see like this. but you can also observe like this, right? That is very important for students. But as a science student, science and technology students, so I have mentioned some method. What is the first important thing as a science and technology students you have to have? That is what we can call it as an observation capability, right? Observation. You have to observe the natural phenomena, careful observation of the natural phenomena, because science is there in the nature, not in any with the sophisticated machineries and all. It is there in the nature. Science is nature, right? You have to observe it. If you look into the night sky, something is moving on, some star kind of what object will move during the night sky. You have to observe it, what it is, right? In most of the time, you might be singing one song in your mind, not loudly, in your mind, and immediately one of the friend who is sitting next to you start to sing the same song loudly. It happens to you, right? But you are not going to think why it's happening, because you don't want it, right? So as a science students, you have to observe the nature, because you are not supposed to remember the name of the bird, you are supposed to understand the action of the bird, right? That is science, right? Okay, okay, this is one thing you need to remember as a science student, that is scientific careful observation of the natural phenomena. What you need to do? Okay sir, I will observe something. What you make a note of it, right? And that note you compare with the available resources. We have a lot of resources nowadays. You have the good books, you have the online resources. You compare your observations with the available theories and resources, right? And see the differences. You might be different, your observation will be different than the available sources, right? Just you find the differences, right? Next you do the experiments, because as I mentioned, you have to do the experiment in science. If you're not doing the experiments, then that is not science. So these are some scientific methods. First observation, make a note of it, compare with the available theories, and do the experiments for your observation. This is the next part. Okay, this is very important for the first year students. That's why I have put some interesting facts. As a science and technology students, you have to have this quality. Experiment, you must do experiment. Get the big picture. The law of gravitation is also applicable for me and you. The same law of gravitation is also applicable for the Mars and Moon, right? So you have to get a big picture of any scientific concept. Explore questions. This is very difficult, right? You must explore questions. I'll talk to you this topic on later. Try the exercise. You have to practice it, because practice makes man perfect, right? You have to practice the things in science and technology and be there. That means don't go out till my lecture gets over. Be here. In the class also, in the regular classes also, you must be there, right? If you don't have the continuity in learning, definitely you are not going to understand anything. So you must have the continuity. That's what we can call it as a be there. Ask questions. You must ask questions, whether you are understanding it or not. You must ask question, whether it may be wrong or right. Don't bother about the kind of question that you are going to ask with your teacher. You must ask questions, right? And the last one is review your understanding. How you can review your understanding? For example, you people are going to study one particular topic. You explain that topic to your friend. If your friend is going to be able to understand the concept that what you are explaining, then that is understood. You have the better understanding, right? That's how you can review your understanding in science and technology. You explain it to your friend, right? You will get a better understanding, right? Okay, these are some important points where you need to understand in science and technology. So situation during 2000, within 200 years, the development are unimaginable, right? And during 1800, there was no communication, there was no satellite, there was nothing was there, right? 200, 300 years back. Now we have everything. 200 years back, if we were telling, hey, we will go to Mysore within 2 to 3 or 1.5 hours, no, alva. So now you have that facility. Why? It is because of the development of science and technology. How did it happen? All these are due to the development of science and its practical application through technology. See, you must understand what is science, what is engineering, and what is technology. That is very important, right? The concept that what you have learned in your PUC is science, pure science, principles of the nature, right? You are going to apply that knowledge in these 4 years, that is engineering, right? Out of this knowledge, if you develop some new product, that's what we can call it as a technology, right? That is the very important concepts of science, engineering, and technology. Basic thing, discovery and inventions in basic science, physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, technology development using the result of these discoveries and inventions, because this is how the situation is going to change from the 2000 to 2000, that means 200 years back to till now. That is one part. Okay. As I mentioned, the science of today is the technology of tomorrow. Today's science is tomorrow's technology. That you need to understand. Okay, as I mentioned, this is science, engineering, and technology as I defined. See, next in my next slides, I have some instrumentations. That means how the scientific principles are going to apply in our daily lives, even in the medical, in the field of medical, and also in the field of engineering. But in order to explain that concept, that what I have in my slides, I need 2 more hours. So it's highly difficult to manage the time to explain everything. Just I will explain some important aspects through the interaction later, and just I will go through it very fastly, right? So now I will stop my presentation and let us interact, right? It is very important in science. Interaction is very important, right? How can you say electron is revolving around the nucleus? How many of you seen it? Raise your hand. Sir explained, you agreed. You never asked him, show me the electron, sir. Show me the proton. No, you never asked, no. How do you know that? Scientist, sir. Okay, very simple. If I turn on the switch, the fan starts to rotate immediately. The light will start to glow immediately, right? Without any time delay. We can call it as an instantaneous process, right? How it happens? Tell me. If you turn on the switch, fan starts to rotate immediately. Tell me how? Very good. Electricity. Any other question? Any other question? Hey, sorry, any other answers? Moving of flow of electrons. Very good. Flow of electrons, electricity, current, wire. These are all definitions, words, statements. We don't want words, definitions, statements in science and technology. We want explanation. You must explain it, right? Because learning is different, understanding is different. Don't learn, you must understand, right? We can mention the electricity. It is a word, right? You are telling the word. How you can understand the electricity, as you mentioned. If you think electricity, it will be using, sir, you were speaking to us, sir, we were using electricity, right? Because you were using the amplifiers, right? You are using electrical components, you are using the projector, it is all because of the electricity. Use cameras, it is all because of the electricity. We are using light, it's all because of electricity, right? That's what you can say. But you can't think without electricity. You can't see without electricity. You can't walk without electricity. Muscle contraction required electricity. Your heart is not going to beat without electricity, right? So this is the importance of electricity. Even you can't see without electricity, right? Electricity, if you think that it's only for the circuits and designing some electrical components, no. You can't think without electricity. You can't even see without electricity. That is the importance. You have, that's what I have mentioned in the previous slide as get the big picture, right? If you consider a topic, electricity, where we are applying in the bigger scale, get the big picture, right? Then only you will get a better knowledge about the electricity. Any concepts in science and technology, right? Any concepts in science and technology. That is one part. Now, let me give some best examples for the importance of the science and technology as a science students, right? Okay, all of you sit straight. Okay, no problem. All of you sit straight. Your legs must be at 90 degree, like this. Like this. You have to put your hands on your legs like this. You are not supposed to hold your chairs and all. You have to close your legs. You are not supposed to pull or push your leg forward or backwards. It must be straight. Right? Ready? All of you ready? Ready? Last benches. One of the famous quote by APJ Abdul Kalam sir, the best brains of the nation found in the last benches of the auditorium. Okay. Now tell me. Right? Are you ready? The activity, the task is very simple. What is the task? Very simple. You are not supposed to bend forward or backward. You have to wake up. Stand up. Don't bend forward. Don't bend backward. And you are not supposed to move your legs and hands. You have to wake up. Anyone? Let us demonstrate on stage if someone is doing it. It is wonderful to see. Because why? It is very, very interesting to see. Because why? It is impossible to a human being. If someone is doing, I'm very much curious to see on the stage. Right? See, that's what I am telling. Science is there in your daily life experiences. That's what science is. Right? It is not there anywhere else. It is there in the nature. It is there in you. It is there in me. Right? That's how you need to understand the science. Most of the thing you have studied in your school levels. Let me go back to the school levels. Right? In mathematics, you have wonderful concept called plus into plus minus. Sadhya. Plus. Minus into plus. Plus into minus. Minus into minus. Wonderful. So I asked this question to a student. Plus into plus is plus. Okay, fine. You know that plus into minus is minus. Minus into plus is minus. Minus into minus plus. My question is why? For a simple question that what you have studied in your school level. Why? Why minus into minus plus? Minus into plus is minus. Plus into minus is minus. Plus into plus is plus. Why? I asked this question to a student, school student. He said, sir, plus into plus is plus because if you take two positive quantities, you will get positive quantity. Right? If your friend is good, you will also good. Right? If you take one negative and one positive, it will give negative, because if you take positive negative, it will also give negative, sir. There will be no, it is just like a mirror symmetry, sir. Oh, wonderful. Then why when you take two negative quantity, it would become positive? I asked him. He said that one minus is there, no? Another minus is there, no? If you multiply it, it will become like this. It will become plus, sir. Huh? Wow. Very shocking statement and answer. When you multiply like that, it will become plus. Huh? Think of it. That's what I am telling. Why? You must ask why. Now I will ask a question. Why? Please, can you please stand up? Don't hesitate. You just stand up. You must interact. You must talk to the people. Then only you can get the exposure, right? Okay. Okay, madam. Your good name? Shreya. Shreya, what you had for the lunch? Why you had chapati? Just listen to the interaction. Just listen to the interaction. You can also laugh and listen to this. Why you had chapati, Shreya? Just what you know, you answer. Don't hesitate. What you know, what comes to your mind, you can answer. Huh? Oh, chapati is the source of energy. What you had? Huh? Huh? Oh, she was hungry. That's why she had chapati. Why you were hungry? Tell me what? Just answer. Don't hesitate. It is normal for. Why it is normal for the human being? Why the metabolism is taking place like that in the body? Please sit. See, why I am telling this is because even if you ask the same question to me, there will be no end for this. Right? There will be no end. It's an endless question. Why is an endless question? You will not get the conclusion for the why. Right? But you will get the depth of the concept. Right? That's why I am telling you, you will never get the answer for why, but you can get the deeper understanding of the knowledge, subject. That's why you must ask why. There will be no ending, but you will get the better understanding of the concept that what you are going to ask. Right? Sir, what is the mission the ISRO has launched few days back? Aditya L1. Why they launched it? In order to observe the sun. Why they launched Aditya L1 for observe the sun, sir? Why not others? Because it has some unique property. It is going to put it in the Lagrangian one point where you cannot any see the obstacles like solar eclipse and why the Lagrangian is behave like that, sir? Right? Why? See why it goes on. You will never get the ending for that, but you are going to understand the depth of the subject. That's why you must ask why. Right? Okay, girls, quota is over. Let me ask one more boy. Please, sir. Yes, very good. What's your name, sir? Sorry? Okay. Let me ask one question. Do you watch IPL matches? Yes, sir. Wonderful. Which is your favorite team? RCB. Wonderful. Wonderful. RCB fan is here. I am also a RCB fan. Thank you. Do you know Maxwell? Yes, sir. He is from which country? Australia. Australia. He is an all-rounder or a batsman or bowler? What he is? All-rounder. Wonderful. We have one more. Who is the captain of RCB? Now. Who is the captain of Fab? Anyone can help him. Fab du Plessis, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Fab. He is from which country? South Africa, wonderful. Now you tell me, what is the 7th chapter in the first year mathematics? What is the 12th chapter in the biology, second year biology? Anyone? You don't tell whatever you want. Tell me particularly. Tell me. What is the 3rd chapter in first year chemistry? You must ask your friend and get it confirmed, then only you can. Sit down, thank you. See, you know, the Australian player, his name, his background, his wife's name, everything you know. I'm not talking about only you, please don't mistaken me. It is a common thing, right? It's a common thing in all the students. You know, the Asaranga is one of the all-rounder and leg break spinner. He is from Sri Lanka. We purchased for him 10 crore rupees. That everything, each and every information you know about the cricket and the related things. But you don't know, successfully you have passed, you got the good results, right? And you will be here in the wonderful college. But you have forgotten the name of the chapter. Why? Again, why? Right? Because you must like, if you like and love something, definitely that is going to store in your mind. Right? You must love. How you can love it? Best, you have to enjoy it. That's what I said in the beginning. You have to have fun in your learning. If you don't have the fun, then there will be no learning. Right? So that's why the fun in science is very important. Right? What are the things you can do wonderful things, right? Let me show one or two very simple thing, because we are also doing some low cost experiments is also one of our hobby, right? Now I will show you something. Now I will use this mic. Hello. Okay, I have something with me. It has less energy. Okay. See, it's a very interesting technology, scientific principle related science experiment, right? So I have introduced some artificially intelligence related information I have stored in it, and this particular thing is going to listen to me, right? Okay, now you can see, just observe, right? Go down, stop, 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 go down, stop. No, you tell. Now artificial intelligence illa ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ. It's a very simple scientific principle. It is a frictional toy, right? It works on the basis of friction, right? See, we have used 0 rupees in order to design this, right? This friction toy is going to listen to us, right? It's a wonderful toy where you can apply the scientific principle, right? It looks very interesting, no? If your younger brother or sister coming to you, akka, anna, y minus into minus plus, hey, you're not supposed to ask those all the things. It is like this, we learned like this, you must learn. This is your answer. You are not supposed to ask such kind of questions. Is that your answer? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm really grateful to know that. Right? That's why you can do many things. Everything is available in the nature. Right? Because designing a science models with no cost is one of our passion. Right? We have designed a number of low cost materials, science materials, where it will be used to understand the principles of the science and technology. Right? There are many students are here, electronics and communication and other related students are there. See, you must understand how to generate a radio signal. Then you can study the satellite communication in 4th year, right? Without understanding how to generate a radio signal, if you look into the satellite communication, then there is no use. So what it means? It means you as an engineering students, skills are very important, right? Nowadays our students are trained, they are not skilled. That is the problem. You must have the skill, right? If you don't have the skill, definitely it will be dangerous for your future. You must have the skills. Skills are very important, right? Skills are very important. What are the things you are learning? Try to relate that concept with the daily life experiences, right? That's what science and technology is. What are the things you are learning? Try to get a small miniature working model of it. This is what science and technology tells, right? That's how you must think, right? That's what we can call it as a unique way of thinking. How you can think uniquely? What do you mean by unique way of thinking, sir? It's very simple, right? How it is simple? Well, I have asked one question. The student who is thinking very uniquely. Actually, I asked that kind of student one question. I asked, okay, when was Tipu Sultan died? He said in his last battle, sir. Logically, is correct, right? I asked one more question to the same student. When was Gandhiji born? On his birthday, sir. He might be correct logically, right? Right? Okay. Which state does river Ganga flows? In liquid state, sir. See, here one more we have unique student. Huh? Right? It is really unique way of approaching, right? So you must think uniquely because you people are the science and technology student, right? You must find the solution. If there is a problem in whatever the subject, it might be the electronics and communication, artificial intelligence, or machine learning, whatever it is, you have to have the multiple angle of approach. If you have a problem, you have to look into the problem in the multiple angles. That quality you have to inculcate in you, right? That means 2 plus 2 is also 4, 6 minus 2 is also 4. That means there is a problem statement. You will be having a lot of solution to find it out, right? If I try to get your unique way of approach, that is the very important quality you have to have as a science and technology student. This is very, very important, right? Now I will show one more thing, right? Okay, simply we have many models with us. See, this is just we have used 10 to 20 rupees. I hope not 20 to 20 rupees. It's a stethoscope. If you go to the shop, they will ask thousands of rupees, right? Right? Any two boys can come and check it out. Two boys, come on the stage. Come. Don't hesitate. Yes. Who knows? He will become the chairman of the ISRO in future. You have to have the come, man. Don't hesitate. Yes, you only. Come. Don't hesitate. What you understand, you speak. What you know, you speak. That's it. Just check it. Oh, wonderful, man. I called the right person. Very good. NASA. Yo. Check his heartbeat. Let me know his saliva dead. You can able to hear his heartbeat now? Berkivera? See. Thank you, Mister. Your name? Muhammad Zubair. Thank you, Muhammad. Okay. See, it's instead of throwing it out, I have used some pipe and we can hear the heartbeat. What it is a front portion of the water bottle. I have cut it and it is a diaphragm. It acts like a diaphragm. It is a balloon. Right? You can develop such kind of products by using the knowledge of technology. You can create wonderful things. As an engineer, you can do wonderful things, right? I have one more thing here. Just I will show you. This is what we have used. This is what we can call it as a simple telescope. We have, okay, let it be. No problem. Okay, this is a simple telescope. We have used a small lens which already broke, right? We have invested just 50 rupees in order to build this. You can see the craters of the moon with the 50 rupees, right? Sir, with the naked eye only we can see the moon, sir. Sir, we are engineering students, sir. We can see Vikram lander also on the moon with the naked eye. See, this is all, you might be familiar with the 3D printer, right? See, most of the structures are printed with the 3D printer. See, this you can also easily dismantle it and you can also join it and you can watch the craters of the moon, beautiful rings of the Saturn and also the moons of the Jupiter. See, it's a low cost materials, right? If you know how to use this lens, wow, because our eyes are wonderful lenses, right? Our eyes is wonderful lenses. How it works, if you understand, that is nature, right? That is nature. If you understand these wonderful things, you can build wonderful products of technology, science and technology, right? That is one of the skill you have to have. This is skill. This is not the knowledge. Applying your knowledge and creating something new is a skill, right? That you have to have. See, there was a problem in one of the country. I don't want to take the name of the country because it is a story. It is not a real story. There was a problem with the soap manufacturing industry, right? So when there was a manufacturing, there are n number of empty boxes were coming out. At that time, that country had invested 5 lakh rupees to find the solution for it, because they have introduced some sensor and all. When there are empty boxes are coming out, that produces a sound where they can find there are some empty boxes. The same problem was occurred in other country. They eradicated, they solved the problem with just 50,000 rupees, because it's a very big fight when it comes to science and technology. After a few years, there is the same problem in India. We have spent only 5,000 rupees. Just we have, ISRO also they have sent 650 crore rupees, right, in order to send the Vikram lander to on the moon surface, right? We spent just 5,000 rupees in order to find out the empty boxes of the soap. How? Just they have put one Usha fan. When there is an empty box is coming out, because of the air, it will fly away. Right? This is what we can call it as a creativity, right? It is a creativity. You must be creative. As a science and technology students, the way of thinking must be creative like this, right? You have to have the creativity in science and technology learning. This is very important quality you have to have as a technical students, right? And as I mentioned, you must apply the principles of the nature. If you're not able to understand the principle of the nature, you never understand the application of the technology, right? That is one more thing you need to know, right? We cannot do some activities in order to understand it, right? So one more, I can say it is not good. One more thing what our students are having is nothing but, oh, after completion of my degree, I have to get into the good company placements. Even you are not getting into the admission, at that time only we will start to find about the placements, right? See, there was a famous quote by Swami Vivekananda. You are not supposed to become a job seekers, you must be a job givers, right? ಯುವಕರು ಉದ್ಯೋಗದಾತರಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಉದ್ಯೋಗಾಕಾಂಕ್ಷಿಗಳಾಗಿರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? That mindset you have to have from the beginning, right? When you have that kind of knowledge and opportunities, when you have the better understanding about the subject, right? That's why have the better understanding of the subject through a theoretical approach as well as with the practical approach. That is very important thing, right? This is what we can call it one of the famous quote, right? You have to give the jobs to someone else. So you have to go to that kind of position as a technical people. You're not supposed to seek for the job, right? This is one thing. So with this, I will show some quick slides. I don't want to spend more time on it, because see, it is wonderful basic science medicine. We can use a stent, right? I have one alloy called shape memory alloy, nitinol. I have it in my bag. If you supply the temperature to that nitinol, it will change it will get back its original shape and size, right? So when you supply the temperature to that particular material, it will get back its shape and size, and it will clear the blockages, right? I have the nitinol metal in my bag. I will show you if time permits. So there are n number of applications, right? X-rays, as I mentioned, it is a serendipity, accidental discovery. And if you see that the radioactivity is also one of the very good basic science principle you need to understand. Nuclear magnetic resonance, right? I will spend some time with this topic. Resonance, you have studied the concept called resonance, right? Resonance you have studied, no? Okay, you have to understand what it means, because it is very important topic. Whether it may be you might be the student from the biology, computer science, or might be from the electronics and communication, you must understand resonance means what. As I said, as an engineering student, when you are at the age of PUC only, you must know how to create a radio signal. ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸರ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸರ್, ತಗೋತೀನಿ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೇಡಿಯೋ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ತರ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ದ NCERT second PUC syllabus is really wonderful, but you need minimum 4 to 5 years in order to understand it, not to learn. That is the problem, right? That's why you are focused on completely into the CET, CEE, NEET, right? Yes or no? But because the standard of the syllabus is really good, but you need more time. But it is difficult to sit for 4 to 5 years in the same class, right? ಆವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದಿರು ತಂಗಿಂದ್ರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬನ್ನಿ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. So that must not happen, right? There is one more important thing. So I will show one more beautiful demonstration. See here, I have used a small important circuit, because Okay, see, it looks like a very simple box. This box is also 3D printed box. So I have one battery, it is a power supply, right? I am going to connect it because we need energy, right? You need energy to think, to listen also, right? So this is also requires energy. I have one more box here. Let me show this box also. Okay, it's here. Okay, fine. See, I have one more box here, right? So if you listen to this, you can listen to a song, no? A match is going on, India versus Bangladesh, right? See, this box looks like a Ole box or Jumki box for girls. For boys, it might be, it looks like any something you need to put. It will be used. So in this box, it's a very simple box where you can transmit the signal, right? You can receive the signal. It is going to receive the 100.6 channel from the Mysore station, right? It is a receiver. So as a PhD student, you must know how to generate or receive the signal. This is the basic understanding you have to have, right? You are not also receiving, you can also transmit. You can also transmit. Actually, it is a transmitter. Sir, you can ask, sir, you can exactly, we can listen to some songs, sir, but where is the antenna, sir? You want antenna, no? In order to receive the signals, right? Which is the antenna? This is the antenna, this wire. In your imagination, the antenna will be like this and some focuses on other side. So in your imagination, antenna looks like that only, right? So see, a small conducting wire can become an antenna, right? That's what I am telling. You must have the better understanding, the basics, the foundation of the principles of science is very important. A small metallic wire conducting wire will become an antenna. A small circuit can be used as a radio in order to receive the signals, in order to send the signals, right? How beautiful it is, right? So that is the importance of science. That is the importance of the technologies. It is very, very much required, particularly for our nation, right? The development of the science and technology is very, very important. That as engineering students, that is your responsibility. It is very important responsibility, right? So you can say, I know you people are here with only two bases. One is by chance, another one is by choice, right? One of your senior or your sister, elder sister has suggested you, hey, you can go to electronics and communication. You can go to computer science, it has lot of scope. You will go to the MNC companies. Oh, okay. That is by chance. You would like to study computer science and engineering or electronics communication, so that's why here. That is by choice. This is only two possibilities, right? By chance or by choice. This is the fact, right? And most of you can think, "Ayyo, nanane baraha sir. I would like to study commerce or arts, right? But I am into the engineering field, sir. My neighbor. What do you mean by that? My destiny, sir. See, destiny is not there on your head, right? No one is there to write the destiny on your head, right? That means destinies are the situations, right? It will come. That is not in your control. You are here. That is not in your control, right? ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಇಂಥವ್ರು ಇವರೇ ತಂದೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಇವರೇ ತಾಯಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಅದು ನಾನು ಹುಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ. Is it possible? That is a destiny. That is situations. That's what I am telling. Situations, destiny is nothing but the situation which is not in our control. But the response to that situation is in your control. For example, if you would like to take 90 marks out of 100 marks in the examination, if you get 85, that is a situation. Oh, most of the student will start to think of hanging and finding some fan and falling into some river and all, right? Nowadays, that is a very stupid thing. What our students, young students are doing nowadays, right? They're not supposed to do like that, because there is a problem. If there is one or two subjects are back in the engineering or PUC, you have time, you have 1 to 3 months, you study it, you can clear it, right? Only 3 months the problem will solve. But if you die, what will happen? Again you have to reborn and start from first standard. Again 14 years of studying. ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇಕಿದೆ? Right? Right? That's why don't do that. Your life, your student life is a wonderful book which is having 100 pages. If one page is not there, don't worry, enjoy the 99 pages. Right? It's a wonderful book. One page is there, not there. One page ಅರ್ಧ ಆಯ್ತು, 99 ಪೇಜ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ does it mean make sense? Does it make sense? No. Don't worry about it. You must understand, you must learn, you must get some knowledge. That is the reason why you here, right? And you must contribute something towards the development of the science and technology, right? So as I mentioned, destinies are the situation which is not in your control, but the responses to that situation is in your control that you can do. And one more bad habit of the student is comparison, right? Comparison. Hey, she is getting 96%, I must get 97. Don't compare yourself with anyone else, because you are the best. Right? What will happen if you compare? Even if you have the capability of getting 100 out of 100, when you compare yourself with someone else, what will happen? Your target will be 97. Right? So that's why don't compare yourself to anyone. You are the best. That is very important positive mindset as an engineering students you have to have. So I am going back, I think. Time will not go back, but okay. These are some wonderful pictures. The resonance, when you get that, see, when you bring these two receiver and transmitter very closely, you can hear a noise, beep noise with the peak noise, that like this. So that's what we can call it as a, like this, not this. So that's what we can call it, it's a resonance. It matches, the frequency is going to match, then you can listen. That's why frequency matching is very important. See, for all the students, Raman, one of the, because he is the first person in Asia, not only in India, who received the Nobel Prize, right? In Asia is the first person during 1930, in the year of 1930, almost 2030, 1 year, 100 year, right? 100 year. So why? You must think of it. As an young generation, you must think of it. Why we are not able to get one more Nobel Prize? Definitely there are many future Nobel laureates are here listening to my lecture and will become the Nobel laureate in future for our nation. I have that confidence in you. Okay, endoscopy. See, you have studied the total internal reflection in the PUC, but you don't know it will be used in endoscopy. You also experienced endoscopy sometimes, I don't know, but without knowing what is total internal reflection. So it is there in your curriculum, but you can relate it in your daily life experience. So like this, there are many electron microscope, because you have used dual nature of light, right? So it uses here it uses a wave nature of light in the electron microscope. Ultrasound, you are very much familiar. And semiconductors is very important. See, even if you are people of computer science students, I'll tell you one thing. Computer science, now there is a new technology called quantum computation, right? It is advanced science. You must get the information about it. What do you mean by what is the difference between classical computing and quantum computing? How it works? It works on the binary operation. How the quantum computation works? How it is benefited than the previous one? These kind of the advanced technologies you have to understand, right? So for the computer science and engineering students, this is one of the very important topic. You need to get some information about it. And as I mentioned, for the electronics and communication students, it will be a communication system, right? We are communication is very important, because I know you are good at communicating with others when the lecture is going on, but I have to hold on for a few minutes, so I'll complete my lecture. So as I mentioned, I am not going in detail because I have n number of concepts here. Just I'll cut down many concepts. And any problems? Any communication problem? Yeah. This one. Otherwise I'll use one. I think that is also facing difficulty to listen my lecture. And okay. So I will move quickly. As I mentioned, this is one of the very important thing you need to understand. So he is one of the wonderful man, Richard Feynman. Just you go through his lectures. He's a wonderful teacher, right? Richard Feynman is a wonderful teacher who is also the father of nanoscience. Nanoscience is also one of the very important hard area of research. Fusion energy, because we are getting the light from the sun because of the fusion, nuclear fusion. So I'm not going in detail about it. So I'll quickly move on. Electromagnetism and light, because it is very important. You know, electricity can be converted into magnetism. Magnetism can be converted into electricity. It is interconvertible. By understanding this wonderful thing, you can explore many things, because the basics is nothing but one theory, electromagnetic theory of Maxwell, right, can explain the entire branch of communication system, right? So you know that, see, general theory of relativity, you will be using the mobile phones, GPS, global positioning system. What is the principle of global positioning system? That is the Einstein's theory of relativity. The general theory of relativity will be the basic principle of the GPS, that what you are using. If you want to go to home, if you want to go to university, if you want to go to any other tourist places in Mysore, what you will use? You will use a GPS, right? So that is what that works based on the principle of general theory of relativity. That is a very important thing you need to understand. You people are getting the exposure to the technology. At the same time, it is your responsibility to get the relevant information in the science, which helps to get a better understanding about the inventions and discoveries, right? So if you apply the Einstein's special theory of relativity, your age is not going to change. If you are 18 years old, you will be 18 years old only. So you must find how it works, right? So extraterrestrial object, UFOs. Yeah, most of you have seen UFOs in your YouTubes, mobile phones, and in many news channels. Every day you can see UFOs. So that's why, that means they will show some flying saucer is there, that is there, this is there, right? So as a science and technology people, you are not supposed to communicate the false information, right? You must check the authenticity and reality of the information, and you move on, right? That is very important, right? So as a science and technology student, you must get the detail. You have to check how genuine the information is, how genuine the reason is when it comes to the science and technology, right? That is very important thing. So that's why if you go on like this, we will be having n number of science and technology concepts are there, where you can do the wonderful research in future, right? So I'll find one more. I'll call some student to show one more activity, right? That's what we can call it as a why you didn't get the answer, no? Y minus into minus plus and plus into minus plus. Those are also for that question you have not received the answer. Let us do some activity in order to understand this. I will wind up. Might be I will be having how many minutes, madam? Already time's up, that I know, because I have invited for the talk 10 minutes delay. Okay, so please give me the time, madam. I will finish it up. Don't worry. Okay, okay. So we can do one activity and we can wind it up. So instead of going to the lecture, just I will quickly show one more thing, that is okay. See, I will show one more beautiful 3D printed model. It is a skill anyone can learn. Anyone can learn this, right? It is a 3D printed model of Albert Einstein, right? No, nothing is required. The interest is required. The skill is required. That's what I am telling you. Have skill, because education is not learning fact. It is training the mind to think, right? You have to think about the solution, problem statement and all. You will come with a wonderful output, right? So it's all based on the skills we can design. For example, you can design whatever structure you want. See, you are not going to get whatever kind of structure you want in the market, right? You can print it through the 3D printing. It is a skill, right? Have that kind of skills. Definitely it will be benefited to you. I would like to show one more. It's really okay. See, this is a very small toy, right? Very small toy. What it is a top, right? So I will call one student. Please come. Please come. Ulta. Ulta. ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಹಿಂಗೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೀನ್ ಹೊಡಿಬಾರ್ದು. See, what will you do? You will go to the China models, right? In order to, you will pay thousands of rupees, right? We only designed it. It's a very small toy. How beautifully a few. So thank you, Pa. Few students have done the research on this. See, if you give the rotation, it will tilt like this and will start to rotate, right? This is how beautifully what is the principle behind it, right? What is the principle of it? You have studied this, but you have forgotten. That is the problem, right? Right. So that's how the science works. You have to have the basic exposure towards the applications of scientific principles. Okay, I quickly move on. So I'm not extraterrestrial objects. There are some important parameters in order to find the life in other celestial objects. Quantum computers, as I mentioned, if you are computer science, information science student, please have a look into it, this topic. And solid state physics, because of the discoveries and inventions of the semiconductors, transistors, integrated circuits, you will be having the different generation of the computers. So this is how the technology evolved. Biomimicry, by observing nature and developing something new. This is one of the very important thing. Please make a note of it and go through it. Biomimicry, it is one of the very important. And DNA, see the DNA, why I mentioned DNA. Here, who discovered DNA? Watson and Crick. Watson was a biologist, Crick was a physicist. See, natural science and physical science. Because every concept are interrelated. The computer science student must have the knowledge of electronics and communication. EC student must have the knowledge of artificial intelligence. So it is better to have the exposure to all the subjects. It is one of the very important. Ham radio, you might be familiar with the ham radio. 12 year and above, anyone can become the ham. Only 0.005% of the world population are the ham, including me. So we have the right license from the Ministry of Telecommunication to transmit the signal and receive the signal. We do the experimentations, right? To design the antennas and all, everything we will do. So you can also become a amateur radio. You can also you can get the license, because if you write an exam from the Ministry of Telecommunication, you can get the license. So starships, why we are doing Chandrayaan and other missions? Because what will happen? 10,000 billion years of later, sun will collapse. So human beings also collapse. What about our future generation? Where they go? Right? That's why we need to explore the space. That's why we are doing space exploration nowadays. So for that, what you can do? You can do the research on powerful rockets, because we want to do the research on powerful rockets. It is one of the requirement for our ISRO, designing the powerful rockets. So we were working on the principle of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics. See, when you plot a brain, you are not supposed to write a bonda, right? You must write a brain. So artistic skill is also very important for the science and technology student. So science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics, everything is there. So these are all some models that what we have designed, where it will use to understand the basic. That's what I have successfully broken. 50 rupees telescope I have showed you, right? So you can also build a small flies and helicopters and planes, you can fly it, right? It's all the skills. Anyone can get it, not only our team members. You can also get it, but the interest matters for the science. As I mentioned, there is a 3D printer machine, and where we can print many things, whatever you want. So this is the AM radio lessons that where we conduct some activities for the student community. See here, one of the beautiful thing I would like to say. Yes, you know about this story, right? No need to explain it, but by taking the story, you can also explain the basic principles. For the primary students, you can explain by telling the story what is sinking and floating. For the higher grade, if you go to higher grade, you can explain about the Archimedes principle, right? The simple story can explain wonderful things of the nature. That's what we can call it as an activity-based learning. So it's all our objectives, and see, we conduct this kind of programs. I don't want to take more time, just for your information, because my lecture will be not on a success story of Gravity Science Foundation. No, just for your information. So these are all some activities, some stream-based education based, and these are all some programs, because we are on the official space tutor of ISRO. We conduct space science and amateur radio activities for the student community. If you go through their official website of ISRO, our foundation name will be there. You search it. So these are all some media coverage. So this is the certification of recognition, because there are 4,000 institutions that are associated with the Department of Science and Technology under Vigyan Prasar. Only they have recognized 100 across the nation. We also among that 100 meritorious science club in India. So if you want some details about it, you visit our website. Feel free to visit our website. So why I am telling all these things, that is very, very important, because the problem is this: developing scientific attitude. The society is lagging behind. That means they don't have the scientific attitude, because it is very, very important. Why it is important? I'll show the reason why it is important. See, we had great scientists like J.C. Bose, S.N. Bose, 100 years of back. Now let me come to the point. You went through it. Now see, prosperity of the nation. Prosperity requires economic growth. The economic growth requires the development of science and technology. Technology growth requires the strong base in basic science research. Europe and America and now China are also developing because of the advancement in science and technology, scientific research and development. So if you see this graph where we are, see, you must search for it, right? India is here. The number of researchers in India, engineers and researchers, right? Where we are, see the Finland, right? So say you're all engineers. So what? Simply completing in engineering and finding some company to it is job is a requirement. I agree with that. But what's your contribution as an engineer? What is your contribution as a technologist? What is your contribution as a science person, right? That matters a lot. You have to contribute something towards the betterment of the science and technology of the nation. That is very important. So if you make a note of it, don't just look into the company like MNC company. I don't want to take any names. Top reputed company, what you think, just don't look into that. You have beautiful, wonderful research institution in India. Whether you believe it or not, there are 4 to 5 research institute of ISRO is there in Bengaluru, in Karnataka. We have the top one university in India, that is Indian Institute of Science. It is there in Bengaluru. The one of the top most research institute, which was established by Sir C.V. Raman, it is there in Bengaluru, Raman Research Institute, right? You will be having the wonderful research institution in our nation, right? Just make use of it, get into it. Definitely, you will contribute many things towards the development of the science and technology. This was the list of research institute, wonderful research institute across the nation. It will be useful. Once after completion of your degree, try to get into this kind of research institutions, right? Definitely, it helps you a lot, right? So that's why for your reference, I used it. So one thing I would like to say, if you hate science, then you probably learned it from a wrong teacher, right? Because science is a wonderful subject where you can enjoy, as I mentioned, where you have a lot of fun, lot of activities, lot of experiments, right? You must enjoy. If you hate science, right, that means you might be learned it from the wrong teacher. And with this, I would like to conclude my session by telling something. As a science and technologist, by telling this, I would like to conclude my session because I know you want an happy teacher, not a perfect teacher, right? When we happily talking to you, when we happily teaching to you, definitely you will learn, right? So that's what you want. Definitely you have that kind of wonderful teachers at SJCE, right? That is one of the, you are in the right place, but you have to get into the right path which is there in your hand, right? So only 2 things are our students are not interested. Nam students ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ only 2 things. It's my personal observation. One is they don't have the seriousness, and the one is they don't have the responsibility. You must be responsible, right? You must be responsible and you must have seriousness in your learning. If you don't have it, so that's why if you are used, that's why I told you to think in a unique way. With this, just 2 to 3 minutes, madam, I'll tell a small story and wind it up. It is for just your reference, but I'll take 2 more minutes and wind it up, because as I mentioned, we have many toys and many scientific experiments. Because of the time constraint, I don't have the time to show it to you. With this, I would like to conclude. There was a competition in a place. The king has conducted a competition, and the competition was very simple. The one person has to bring one of the fruit. That is a simple. Any individual can bring one fruit. If the king is going to identify the name of the fruit, then the punishment is very simple. The person has to eat it. Very simple. If he is not going to fail to identify the name of the fruit, the king is going to give half of its kingdom. That is a prize, right? One person came. He came with an apple. The king identified it is an apple. Wonderful. You can eat it. He has to eat. That is a punishment. He ate it, and later one more person came. He came with banana, and the king identified it is banana. So it has to eat. You are not supposed to peel. That is the condition. You are not supposed to peel it and eat. He has to eat without peeling it. It is an order of a king. He ate it, and one more person came. He came with pineapple. King identified. Oh, no other way. He started to eat, and still he was laughing and eating. The king was very curious. Oh, why, man? The blood is coming out from your mouth, and still you are laughing and eating. Oh, I am not worried about myself, my dear king. There is a person who is standing behind me, coming with jackfruit. I am worried about him and laughing. ನಾನು ಹಿಂದೆ ನಿಂತಿರೋ ಅರಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊತ್ಕೊ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ನೆನ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. See, why I am telling this story to you is very simple. See, this is the only place in the nation, the education institutions are the only place where there is a thing called equality, right? All are equal here, right? So, but you might be coming from the different areas, you might be coming from the different background, the financial background might be different, right? The region might be different, right? Even if you have any, you might be having lot of problems with the family background or whatever it is. There are many obstacles are there when you are entering some educational studies, but you must overcome by thinking, by talking about something. You will be useful to what forget all these pains and all, right? So that's how our person who came with the pineapple did, right? So you might be from different background, but you're not supposed to think about it because it is a great opportunity. You are in the right platform. You must make use of this right platform in an effective way and contribute something towards the nation, because science and technology communication as a science and technical people is very important. It creates the scientific attitude in the society, it develops scientific literacy in the society, and definitely it will be useful for the betterment of the nation in the field of science and technology. So speak science and technology with your parents, speak science and technology with your students, speak science and technology with your friend, speak science and technology with your siblings, speak science and technology with the society, and communicate science, right? Popularize science and technology. It is as a science and engineering students, it is your responsibility. Definitely will get lot of exposure. If we continue like this, definitely sir is going to turn off my mic. So before that, I would like to conclude my talk. Once again, I would like to thank organizers for inviting me for delivering a lecture for almost 1 hour, right? So as I mentioned, please, it is your responsibility as a young generation. Learn it, enjoy it, and contribute for the development. Okay, we celebrated Chandrayaan, but what next? You have to launch Chandrayaan 4, right? Not in the dream, in the reality as a science and technical people. You must get into the great ISRO and contribute for the development of the science and technology. That's in your hand. So I hope you got my ideas and thoughts. With this, once again, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time for us. And once again, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ತಡ್ಕೊಂಡದಕ್ಕೆ, ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅನಂತ 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 ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, sir, for giving a valuable insight in science. It was very informative session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.